Welcome again to Synology'Online.com. My name's Ray, and I'm about to show you in front of us and above me is actually a DS1815. Now, the DS1815, well, let's look at it this way first. The last two digits of the model number 15, that is technically the model launch date. So, you know, if you have an 1817, that's from 2017. If you have a 1815 from 2015, you have an 1812, that's actually from 2012. So it kind of gives you an idea where the product official launch is. When the product was sold, now that's another story. Most 99% of the models came out a year prior. Okay, so how do you know? Look at your serial number. Your serial number has a lot of information. One of the things is the first two digits of it. All serials start with the SN, which stands for serial number, and then the next two digits was officially when the motherboard in your unit was made. Okay, so if your serial number on your 1815 starts with 14, that was built in 2014. And we see this across the entire product line. Even 1817s, you would think the serial number would start with 17. No, you'll see a 16 actually, because Synology always launched the product, well, not officially, but started selling the product a year prior to what they called the official launch. So now the reason I bring this up is a lot of things changed with motherboards over time. Okay, so this 1815 I have next to me is a 14. So this obviously is the first gen. There were 4 generations. The motherboards are built the same, but no, they're not. They are designed different. Huge on the 15 series only, and this is strictly any model that ends in 15. So if you own an 1815, you know, a 2415, a 1515, or even an RS 815 rack, you know, there's a few in there. You probably have a first gen unit too. Maybe there's only about 10, I would say about 10% of the population own the first gen, because even though the 15 series was Synology's biggest seller, it really didn't happen until 2015. Now, these units all have the bug. Obviously, we've heard about the Atom bug or C2000 bug, and you know why the stepping voltages change. I did a mention of that in my first video, my intro video. Why people are fixing them wrong. They still are today out there, and people still pay for that. But what the heck? What are you going to say? So, what is wrong with the first gen? Well, on the 15 series, all of the motherboards for the first gen, that means your serial number starts with 14, the motherboard was designed different. Okay, it looks the same. You lay it on the bench, it's the same, but it's not the same. So what is the difference? You know, why was there a change? Well, apparently Synology must have discovered something that wasn't working right. So I don't know what it was. All I know is, you know, we had an agreement with Synology with an NDA on doing a lot of the bug fixes. That's why nobody still knows how to do them right. But I'm going to show you what I mean. Let's see. Did I plug it in? Oh, I guess I didn't have the plug-in all the way. So, now, if you see this NAS, this is an 1815. I'm hooked up to the serial port on it. So, actually, you also see this Syno boot 2. You don't want to see just Syno boot 1, you're going to have a problem there. That's usually on the 12, 13s, 11s, and 10s. So, anyways, this unit boots. It's a serial number 14. It's an SN14. And everybody who requests service here, there's a subnote in the services that we give them. So we mention everything about the sending in the NAS. You have an option of sending the whole NAS for $225, or you can send just a motherboard and a power supply in for $200, plus shipping and handling. So anyways, now what's the problem, and what is in that subnote I give every customer? Well, I tell them if your serial number starts with 14, okay, there is a 10% chance your NAS is not fixable because of that design issue. So not only that, even if it's fixable, we cannot really guarantee it because of the changes. We had to evolve some of the changes too. So if your NAS is a 2014 version of the 2015 model, which is the 1815, the first gen unit, and first gen's just like any first gen. First gen of a car is always crappy and they make them better. It's no different in the NAS world. So if yours is the first gen version, here's what you're going to have to do to keep yours running. This actually applies to all of the 15 series. The coin cell, when I created the coin cell trick, I don't know, a few years back on Reddit, it flooded every forum across the globe, and this forum, that forum. And I get customers tell me I changed the coin cell. It's not changing the coin cell that you're supposed to do. It's actually taking it out, leaving it out. Throw it away. I don't care what you do. Just leave it out. Well, all the units built after 2014 were the second gen, third gen. There's even a fifth gen, but it's only in IO safe. You won't find it in the NAS'S. But anyways, you actually have to take the coin cell out, and you have to leave it out forever, for the rest of the life of the NAS, because even though it's working, even though it came from here for service, the coin cell has to come out. And actually, in some very rare cases, even we find ourselves putting a 10 meg ohm resistor soldered across the battery socket. So, and actually, you're going to be surprised, but the battery socket can be totally shorted. It's fully protected inside the NAS. Even without a battery in it, and you power on the board, you're going to read like a volt, 1.2. In the 14s, though, you read 1.5, which is kind of bizarre because sometimes it reaches levels that are above the battery even. So you actually got to take it out and leave it out to keep your NAS running, because the coin cell has something to do with the CPU bug, oddly. And a lot of people don't know this, but that's the truth. It does affect the way the NAS boots. So this particular NAS that you see here, and I've actually showed you the logs that it boots, it is one of those units. You gotta leave the coin cell out. It's the only way it's gonna boot. So that's the bug with it. A lot of the 1815, 1515, 2415, and even the RS815 Plus, anything with 15 on the end, if you take the coin cell out, you can get it to boot. Now, only this can be left out, the coin cell, on the 2014 version of this. So that's pretty much it. So you have a 2014 or your serial number starts with 14, just leave the coin cell out. It's the only way it's going to boot. It's still going to need service, even after service. If you notice something wrong, I've already taken it out most likely. Sometimes I don't because it runs perfectly here, but if you have to take it out, you can take it out. So anyways, I just thought I'd bring this up. This is a flaw with this particular version of the model, and like I said, only if your serial number starts with 14 does this apply to. We had talked to Synology about this years ago, like we did when we came up with bug fixes for it. So, and there's a lot of politics involved in NAS. I can just say that. But anyways, let me see. I gotta log into this thing anyways. By the way, I'm hooked up in here through the serial port. password is 101-0101 because the date is January 1st. So like I did in the other video, there's certain things I check. Make sure all the LANs are up. This one I put 16 gigs of memory in it because he wanted 16. So that's another thing. Synology doesn't tell you this thing can take 16 gigs of RAM, but it does. I mean, look up the CPU specs of the C3500 series. They can handle 16. In fact, I even put ultra speed. So I believe it comes with 1600 speed. Nah, it does more than that if you know the right RAM chips to get and put in there. So that's what I do for customers. If they want the ultra, it's an option on top of the service. This customer sent in the full unit, so it's the 225 plus shipping, and the RAM is something I add on to it. It's an option. So if he sent only the motherboard and the power supply, it's only 200 plus shipping and handling. And it's a lot less weight. By the way, too, I invoice customers for service, and some just send it direct. It don't matter. But ZELLE, any customer that has ZELLE and wants to pay that way, they actually get a $10 to $15 discount using that. And the reason for that is ZELLE is the last app out there that's a non-taxing app, so we can pass that over to our customers. It saves them an extra 10 or 15. Honestly, about 70% of the business here, no, not 70, it's 60% is through ZELLE. The rest is PayPal, or if it's corporations, companies, EDUs, .orgs. These are all invoiced. So what is the serial port you can get? I kind of skipped the video because I forgot to put this in, but serial port on your NAS is just a simple cable, as you can see, plugged in here. You can buy the serial ports on eBay, the TTL, the USB adapter, for $1.50 and free ship. And you just have to make the connector. This one has the 6-pin connector, but you only need the 3-pin connector. If you kind of get an idea, this is the block one, so I use. But yeah, you just need the, and that's what this boot is for. A lot of people don't know what is this so-called rubber boot for down here. That's your serial port. Why would Synology put that thing in there? And actually, it's there for a reason. It's not only just in factory use, but some of the UPSs, APCs, they use serial communication to the motherboard in order to see where it stands in regards to backup batteries and stuff like that. So it has a dual purpose. There's not any info written about it online. It's just something that Synology didn't support, but it's there. Am I actually even typing anything here? Alright, it's shutting down. But anyways, thanks for stopping by, and thought I would shoot this video out to you and let you know about this particular problem on the 15 series of the first gen units. Take care.